Welcome, everyone. This is Natalie, and I'm glad that you're here listening to me today. And I would just like to introduce myself for those of you who are not familiar with me or who have joined my parenting group, the Calm Parenting for Happy and Successful Kids. And I would like also to share with you a little bit about my intention in forming that group. So I am a mom of three boys that I've been homeschooling for 5 years now. And my parenting journey, just like yours, has had ups and downs. And it's part of learning and growing with our children. And I have to admit that I, as a parent, and just like any parents, I had my fair share of going through triggers and having strong emotions, really strong reactions to certain of my kids' behaviors, and as well as, to responding to my husband's behaviors as well. So it's been intriguing and it's been challenging at times. And throughout my own journey, I've learned to put together this method that has actually helped me with managing triggers and emotions better, and actually changed my relationship with my children and as also with my husband. So I started not intentionally wanting to work with parents. I am a yoga instructor, so I love movements, and yoga is my go-to modality that helps me reconnect my mind and my body and doing movement at the same time. So I love yoga, and it's always been a passion of mine. And along the way of teaching yoga, I've met amazing people and also learning about how our triggers brings up strong emotions that are stored in the body. So I'm not going to go into details with that. And then fast forward a few years later, I learned about energy healing, about balancing our energy in our body and recognizing when we are having certain density in the body or where we're storing energy in the body. So learning how to work with that. And also learning about how our mind works, how the subconscious mind works, how the conscious minds work, and how our subconscious is running in the background all the time when we're not present in the moment. And how that affects us in the present moment is because a lot of our expectations and beliefs and thoughts come from the past and not about the present. So often as a parent, we want to raise our children in a way that empowers them and allows them to be themselves, to express themselves, to stay connected with themselves. I know that's what I want for my children, and I'm sure that many of you want that for your children, to raise these happy, independent kids that are going to be responsible adults later on in life and being connected. However, what we believe about parenting and how we should be parenting and the tools we're using and the expectations we have as parents may not be aligned with the result, with how we want to raise our children and how we want them to grow up and who we want them to be later on. Not wanting them to be, but to allow them to go into who they are already. And so, yes, there are these beliefs, expectations, and the ways of raising our children that are sometimes, and I know for me, they were outdated. They were from what I've experienced in the past myself, what I've learned, or what I read about, but they were not aligned with the way I wanted to parent and the experience, especially that I wanted to have with my children. And so learning how the mind works, how the thoughts and beliefs and expectations come into play in the present moment, and how when we're triggered, this whole chain of thoughts that leads to triggers and then to the emotions and the reactions we have, how they affect us, and learning how to change that, which is totally possible, because I can tell you personally, I've done it for myself and I've helped clients as well with that, and they had amazing results, and that has improved the way they parent today and how they can continue to develop these strong bonds with their children just by changing their beliefs, changing the expectations that they had for their children, and learning how to be more present, how to tune in, how to create the connection with your child, how to communicate, and learning how to receive information from your children as well is key. And when we can be on the same page with our children, then that's when it feels so much easier instead of going into power struggles, which you and I know doesn't never felt good. So I'm really passionate about this, and I've gone on this journey to continue to learn myself. I'm not a perfect parent, and I know I'm never going to be a perfect parent, but my deep intention is to provide, a safe environment for my children, and I know you want that too, and to develop that strong bond with my kids and to continue to strengthen that bond, even if now my kids are becoming teenagers, 2 of them. But I know that bond still needs to be nourished, and so it can stay strong and it continues to get stronger, because I do want a very, very deep relationship with my children, even when they become adults. And so there is a way of nurturing what you want and the kind of relationship you want with your children and your partner, and to explore instead of wanting to push away the triggers and the strong emotions, or rejecting all of that, or blaming yourself or shaming. Instead, becoming curious about going on this journey to explore those triggers, what they're telling you, and the emotions that are coming up for you. What are they saying? And when you learn the language of your body, which are your emotions, and you can understand the language of your mind, the thoughts, and how the thoughts affects the emotions, then it's amazing, and it's empowering how we can start to change this whole dynamic of learning about the triggers, learning what causes the triggers and why they come up for us, and when do they usually come up. And when you can see this whole chain of what goes on with triggers and emotions, just like learning a new language, then you are empowered. And when there is a disconnect, when there is things that are falling apart, you don't feel desperate. Instead, you can do this exploration and get to the root cause and know exactly what you need to do. And when we learn this for ourselves as parents, then we're more equipped to help our children also learn how to manage their emotions and learn to understand what is it that those emotions are wanting to say. and not make it a bad thing. So this is what I want to emphasize, is that our triggers and emotions are actually, we can view them as powerful information. And yes, it doesn't feel good, but this is the way of our body telling us, hey, maybe there's another way to look at this. And when you do, then it changes the emotions and it changes the way you interact with your child, and it feels more smooth, it feels easier, there's less drama, and there's less time wasted on, having to deal with your emotions going up and down all the time. So there is a way to manage it. There is a way to deal with the triggers in a positive way. That I can tell you, and that's why I'm here to share that with you. And so I won't keep you much longer, but thank you for joining my group. If you joined, and if you want to join, I will just send me a message and I'll send you a link to join. If you're on Facebook, you can search it. It's Calm Parenting for Happy and Successful Kids. So just reach out to me if you have any questions as well. And watch out in the group. There will be more posts about what I just talked about, and I really will go into details. And also watch out for trainings that I will be doing in the group that you can attend for free and learn more about how you can manage your triggers and emotions better and more productively, so you can continue to develop these strong bonds with your children and with your partner. All right, so thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll talk to you soon.